In today's video, I'll show you a complete walkthrough on Pictory AI. This is a full step-by-step guide that covers everything you need to know to start using Pictory like a pro, including how to create your first video, which settings matter, how the pricing plans compare, and which one's right for you. And if you're thinking about trying it out, I've got a coupon code at the end of this video that will get you a large discount. Totally optional, but it's there if you'd want it. Alright, so now to get started is that you want to use the link in the description to go here into the website of Pictory, and from here we can set up our account or log in if you already have one. So that is an affiliate link which helps us support this channel. So if you use that, thank you very much. That would be greatly appreciated. So now let's click here on get started now and let's create our account. So for this one, I'll just continue with Google, but you could also go for your first name, last name, and then email and password if you'd want to, but I'm just going to go with Google for an easier time. So click here and continue with Google. Alright, so now once you're signed in, you will now be prompted here into the dashboard here in Pictory AI. And from here, you'll be able to go here into the home page and to projects, where you can see all your projects in here that you have exported in Pictory, and brand kits for branding, which we'll be doing later on when we go into the specifics of the features here in Pictory. Now, first, let's go into the homepage, and in here, you'd be able to see the core features in Pictory. So I'm just going to give you an overview on each one of them first so that you'd have an idea before we dive into deeper details about each of them. So first is a text to video. So as for this one, this lets you paste a script or type in your own text, and Pictory will automatically turn it into a video. It generates visuals, voiceovers, subtitles, and scene transitions based on your input. So just input your video name and then your script or text right here, which is perfect for turning blog posts, thought pieces, or informational content into engaging videos. Next, we have the URL to video. So in here, you can paste the link to any article or blog, and Pictory pulls the key content automatically. It converts that into a short video summary with relevant visuals and narration, which is great for content repurposing, especially for news, tutorials, or informational posts. Next, we have the AI video editor. In here, you can upload an existing video, like maybe a Zoom call, vlog, or a tutorial, and it gets transcribed automatically. You can delete words or sentences from the transcript, and it will remove that part from the video too. This is super useful for trimming long videos or cleaning up mistakes without manual video editing. And next, we have the images to video. So you can upload a series of images, and Pictory arranges them into a video with transitions and optional background music. You can also add text overlays, voiceovers, or let the platform auto-generate a script. This is ideal for a product showcase, photo story, or social media highlight. And we also have the PPT to video. So this one is only available in the upgraded plan. So in here, you can import your PowerPoint slides and convert them into a video presentation. You can add voice narration for each slide or use background music and subtitles. So this is helpful for educators, presenters, or turning internal decks into shareable content. Lastly, we have the record. So you can use this to record your voice or screen directly inside Pictory's platform. It's useful if you'd want to explain something in your own words or personalize a video. Once recorded, you can add it into any project or pair it with visuals. Alright, so now let's go into text to video and let's dive in here before we go into the other features. So in here, I'm just going to enter the video name. So for this one, I'm just going to go for my trip to Bangkok, for example, right there. And now I'm just going to paste my script in here. So you could type it manually, or you could also use ChatGPT to generate you some script, or you could try a demo script and so on right here. But in my case, I'll just go and paste my own. So I have some specific guidelines in here on how you'd be able to write it effectively here in Pictory AI. So I'll give you that guideline and some tips. So first is that I keep it visually descriptive. Like, for example, I have this line right here. It says steam rises. And I also have the sun sets, and just like this one, sun sets and folds the stall away. So this kind of phrases help Pictory pick visuals easily because they are very easy to visualize. So that would be very helpful for the AI to pick the right visual for this line. You want to aim for lines that evoke a sense of place, motion, or texture so that it would be easier to visualize. And next is that you want to use short, impactful sentences. As you can see, they are not in a paragraph form just like that one. So you want to make sure that you separate each sentence right here within per line, not on the same line. So maximum of only one sentence per line right there. That is how I do it. And each sentence stands on its own as a scene. This makes it easy for Pictory to generate one visual per sentence. And then the shorter lines also keeps your pacing smooth and viewer friendly. And next is that you want to build emotion through structure. Like for example, you want to start with a scene. In this line, I said city wakes, so that helps start the scene. You could also build tension. Like for example, in my text right here, it's talking about his hard work, so that builds tension. And you could also go for peak with human connection. So in this example, I have also stated something about feeding people, so that could also get some human connection into the story or in the text. And you could also close with a reflection, which is this one right here, part of Bangkok's heartbeat. So yeah, you just basically need to mimic the structure of a short narrative arc. And lastly is that you should think in scenes, not in paragraphs. Each sentence should visualize clearly as one video segment. You want to avoid complex clauses or run-on sentences because they confuse the visuals and voiceover pace. Next, let's head over here into scene settings because we have some very important settings in here. So first is the auto highlight keywords. So what this does is that Pictory will automatically bold or highlight important words in your text. Like for example, in this example would be Bangkok, noodles, or tourist. And we also have the auto visual selection. So Pictory will match visuals to each sentence based on the keywords and context. So this saves time, especially if you are creating longer scripts or daily content. So for this one, we would want to leave this on, same as this one, so that it would match our mindset, which was the thinking about the scenes, not a paragraph, right? That is the purpose why we have one sentence per line. So we want to leave this both on. And then the create new scenes is basically creating every full stop or period creates a new scene. As you can see, we have some periods here on our line, so that's a purpose. And we have selected both to help structure our videos clearly, one visual per sentence. You could also go for per line breaks or sentence breaks, but as for this one, I'm just going to go both. And now I am pretty happy with my text and my settings are all now good. Click here on proceed so that we will now be creating our video from our text. So it's now loading, we just have to wait for that. And now once it's finished loading, your storyboard should now be right here wherein you could customize everything right here. So if there are any changes that you would want to be made, this is where you can do it. So in here, first is that we have our text right here. So you could also rearrange them by dragging them just like so if you'd want to. So you'll also be rearranging the scenes right here. So this is where you could see that. So I'm just gonna fix it again right here. So right there. So if you want to undo it, you have the undo button here, by the way. You do not want to click here on the previous because this will delete your previous or your current work. So make sure that you go for undo or redo button right here only. That is a very important note because I have seen people click here on previous and their work just got deleted or they got reset and they go in panic. So just remember to just click here on undo or redo if you made mistakes. And next is that you want to make sure that here in the scenes you are satisfied with the images first or the videos. So that is the first thing that I would want you to check. So make sure that you are satisfied with all of them. Like let's say for this one, for the first scene, the city wakes up before the sun, I think the footage is great. Next is this one right here in the quiet alley of Bangkok. So I don't like it. It's food. I think it should portray the alley. So in this one, if you would want to change the video, you can click on that and then it would automatically pop up into the visuals right here, or you can change the video right here. So from here, you can now search for an alley, just like what I would want to portray in here. Or let's see. And yeah, maybe something like this. So I think a fitting alley for Bangkok would be maybe this one, or Quiet Alley. So I think this one would be befitting of a quiet alley. So I think that's fine. But I think there are more choices right here below. You could also do that if you want to. And yeah, I think I'm satisfied with that. So now I'm gonna move on and go into scene 3 and let's see if it's good. I think it's good. And you wanna go into all the scenes to check. And yeah, basically if there's nothing wrong or there's nothing that you'd want to change, then it's all good. You don't have to change the footage anymore. So let's say that we are satisfied with all of that. The next thing that we want to do is to modify the text in here. Like maybe you would want to change up the style. So when you click here on the text element, you would have these options. In here, you could change the font, the size, make it bold if you'd want to, just like this one, make it bold, and then you'd be able to see that it is now bold. And then you could also change the alignment. Oops, right there, the alignment. You could even do this, change the text color. If you'd want to, make it red, and it will now be red, just like that. So let's do the undo button right here, because I don't want that. Undo. There it is. And then now from here is that once you have changed something in your text, like for example, I have made this bold, is that you want to make sure that you click here on apply to all so that the changes that you have made into this text will apply to all the text in the other scene. So that is very important. So let's click on the text again and click here onto apply all. And just like that, it will now also be applied here, as you can see on the other scenes. And also is that you could also save this as a style. So if you prefer this kind of style for all of your videos, then you can click here on save as style so that in the next project that you'll be working on, you can just load that style and it will now be applied to all of your text right here on your video with just a simple process. You don't have to manually edit them again. And also is that you could also change the style of your text by going here into styles on the left side. In here, you would have some presets on the text styles. So for example, I would want to go for this one. I want to click on that. And now I would be able to preview it. We also have this button right here to apply to all scenes. So if you'd want it to be applied into the other scenes, click here. And then you'll now be able to see that it is now changed, including on the other scenes. So as for this one, I'm just going to go for something simple in here, not too flashy with the background. And I think I'm just gonna go for this classic sunflower yellow right here. So just like that, and click here on apply to all scenes. I think this gives me quite a vintage look for my text, which I like. So I'm just gonna go and put it that way. And next is that you can click here on text again. And basically, you could also go for positions. If you'd want to go for center, then you could also do that. And then you could also go for the bottom left, bottom right, and so on. It's possible. But in my case, I'll just go for the default, which is the bottom middle. And apply to all right there. And yeah, that's it for the text. So if you have any other changes in mind, you can do that in here in Pictory. You can just find the options in here for the text. Next is that you could also go here for audio. So if you would want a background music, this is where you can choose it. You can go for background music or in voiceover. You could even combine them both. So first, let's go into background music. And from here, you can choose the background music right here. So there are a lot of filters that you can use, like the mood, purpose, genre, duration, and that's it. You can just search for the results right here. And now from here, I have selected this music right here. So I just went for a mood, which is hopeful or optimistic, because I would want to inspire my viewers with this video. So I went with this music. So I'll play it for you. So yeah, I think this would really invoke the emotions of my viewers. So I'm just going to click here on apply, and it will now be applied. Next is that you want to go for voiceover if you would want to add one. If not, then it's also fine. And from here, you can go for premium voices. So this is only available on the paid plan, which we'll be discussing later on the last part of this video. And yeah, as for this one, I'm only in the free plan, so I'm just gonna go for the standard voices. But if you would want maximum quality, then I can definitely recommend the premium voices because they are leagues beyond the quality on the standard voices. So as for this one, I'm just gonna go for a deep voice or a male voice right here. So I'm gonna go for a deep male voice. So I have selected my voice, which is Alex Male. So listen to it.
Welcome to Pictory. It has been shown that video increases conversion.
So yeah, basically Alex is an old male with a deep voice, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Since I am invoking an inspiring story, I think it would be fitting to hear it from someone who is old, who has a lot of experiences in life. So I think Alex would be a perfect fit right here, but we could also go for others right here. So
Welcome to Pictory.
Welcome to Pictory.
So basically you can just play their samples in here so that you'd be able to hear their voice.
Welcome to Pictory. It has been.
But so far, I think Alex is the one that is for this video. So I'm just going to click here on apply for the voice. And now, once you have clicked on apply, it will now generate the voiceover, and then you'd be able to see a loading bar in here. You would need to wait for it to be completed first because it is applying to all of your scenes. And once it says applied, then you're all good to go. Next is that you want to go here into this volume settings because it is important to change this if you have a background music and a voiceover. So by default, these are the values, but I recommend going for 7. This is just my go-to, but you could also experiment with this if you want to. And for the voiceover volume, I go into 65 right there. And then that's it. And now that we have completed the basics like the audio, the text, and then the video, let's now click here on preview video just to see on where we're at our video, on what quality it is, if it's good or bad. So click here on preview video.
The city wakes before the sun. In a quiet alley of Bangkok, Lek pushes his cart into place, the same spot he's stood for 17 years. Steam rises from the pot before.
And from here, you could notice that there is a watermark. It would be gone after you have exported the video. And also, it's quite laggy because it's just a preview. It will be fine after it is exported. So you don't have to worry about those things. Just focus on the look of the video for now. And next is that we can now exit. And from here, actually, I would want to add some transition just to add some spice. So to do that is that you could click here on add transition at each scene. As you can see right here, click on add transition. And now you could choose what transition you like. We have wipe up, wipe down, left, right, smooth left, and so on. In my case, I'll just go for smooth right. I think I like this one. I'm going to go for smooth right. Right there. And then when you click here on this button again, you could go for apply to the entire video. So if you would want that transition applied to the entire video, clicking here on this button. You could also remove the transition, or you could remove all transition in your video, including all scenes. In this one, I'll just go for apply to entire video. Right there. And then after that is that if you'd want to add some transition on your text, the next thing that you can do is click here on the transition button. So this is where you can change the animation or transition, however you want to call it. So for this one, I'm going to go for the entry and exit. So I would want it to enter with this animation. I can go for drift, or since we are going for an inspiring one, I think I could go for text reveal. That would be more professional. You can change the speed, direction, writing style, and you could apply this to entry only or also at exit. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go for entry and exit for this one so that it would be uniform and more professional. And we also have this blur right here. But yeah, I think the text reveal is better. So now we have some transitions in the text. And before we preview that again, first, let me just explain to you on the other stuff that you can do here in Pictory. Like for example, it is also important that you can set up your branding, especially if you're a business or you have certain branding color, logo into your content that you would want to incorporate so that you don't have to set it manually every time you make a project here in Pictory. So in here, in the branding section, you could create a brand. And then you'll be prompted in here into the branding section, which we discussed earlier in the dashboard. But as for this one, I will not be able to continue because I am only in the free plan and I have exhausted my brand quota. So if you'd want to set up your branding, then you would need a paid plan. And now let's go back. We're now done with the branding. Next is that you could go here into elements if you would want to add specific elements like some shapes, stickers, GIFs, and emojis into your video. You can absolutely do that in here in Pictory. And then you could also go for a format, like you could change to landscape, portrait, or square. You could also have this right here. So it would automatically adjust. For example, if I go into portrait, it would now automatically adjust, as you can see, even the text. So yeah, you could also go for square if you'd want to, but in my case, I'll just go for landscape. And there it is. And now from here is that the next thing that we'll be discussing is that you could also go for the resolution, and take note when exporting this, it would also depend on your paid plan on what is available to you. So make sure you get a paid plan so that you'd be able to maximize your resolution. So yeah, I think that's it. I have covered everything you need to know in here in editing your video here in Pictory AI. You now know how you could do specific things right here. Now, the last thing is that you want to now export your video. Once you are all satisfied with your video, click here on download. And from here, you can click here on start processing. But in my case is that I only have a free plan, so I wouldn't really be able to download this at the maximum quality. And as you can see right there, I would need to upgrade to unlock download. So make sure you get a paid plan if you'd really want to seriously use Pictory. Alright, so now let's go back, and as promised, we will be going through the other features in here really quickly, so it will be very easy now because we have now understood the complex part of Pictory, which is editing the video. So let's go here first into URL to video, and let's just try a demo blog example. And from here, you can now click on that and click here on generate video. And from here, Pictory will now get the key details from that blog and then basically create the script right here or scene. So let me show you on what it's like once it's done loading. And now here it is. You will now be able to see the source article right here that Pictory AI has gathered for us, and then you could also see that it also imported the images on that article. And from here you could see the summary. So these are your scenes. You can rearrange them, edit them right here if you'd want to. You could even delete them. Once you're done, click on next, and then basically you will now be prompted again into your storyboard, which we have discussed already on how you would be able to edit it. So let's just wait for this to load, and then you'll be seeing what I mean. And here it is, as you can see, back into the storyboard editor. So you can do your edits as usual right here. So that's it. So now let's go back and let's go for AI video editor. And from here, you can now upload your video or audio you'd want to edit. So I'm just going to try it with a demo video. And from here, let's wait. And from here, it will now be automatically be transcribed. And you can also see the highlights right here. But as for this one, there is no highlights found. And yeah, basically you can see all the transcription. You could also edit it right here if you see some mistakes on the transcription. And you could also remove the filler words like and many more, like maybe some really long pauses. You could also do that, like remove silences. So in here, you could enable that, and then you'd be able to see that your script right here or transcription is now reduced. Because if I disable filler words, as you can see, it's still seeing or showing the or filler words right there. So if I remove that, it will now be gone. And then you can also choose the landscape, portrait, or square. So in this one, I'm just going to go for portrait, for example. And then you could also select a brand if you have your brand kit set up. So yeah, that's it. And after that, you can click here on customize video, and then again, you'll be prompted into the storyboard editor, which is right here. So in here, you can now start editing the text and everything. So yeah, that's it. Next, we have images to video. And from here, you can now drop in your images right here. So for example, I'm just going to go for a really random one. So I'm going to go here. And I'm gonna paste this tree right there and click on open and see what we'll get from those random files right there. So I'm gonna click on upload. I don't know why, but I'm getting stuck here when I am uploading here a image right here on images to video. So I'm just getting this dark screen, and I have waited a long time and it's still not loading. So I think it's not available for now. I don't know why that is, but yeah, basically you get the essence in here. You can create a slideshow videos with your images and video clips automatically with AI, so you don't have to do manual editing work if you'd want to create a slideshow with it. But unfortunately, I'm unable to test it as of now. I think this is a bug from Pictory as of today. But yeah, so I'm just going to proceed here into record, because here in PPT to video, I wouldn't be able to demonstrate that because it is only available on the paid plan. But yeah, you get already the gist. I have given you an idea on how this works earlier on the video. And here in the record section is that we can now record ourselves via webcam or screen and webcam and screen only. This is very helpful if you're doing a tutorial just like mine. For example, if I want to show my face, I could go into screen and webcam so that I could also demonstrate my screen. I could click here on proceed. And then now it's going to load, and it's now going to ask us to permit the Pictory AI to use our camera and our screen. So right there. So now we can go for the Chrome tab, and then we can share it right here. So that's it basically. You can just use this to record. And yeah, that's it for the core features here in Pictory. Now let's go talk about pricing plans by clicking here on the profile icon on the top right. Click on my subscription, and you will now be prompted here into the pricing plans where you could see all the subscription tiers. And if you'd want to save as much as possible, then I suggest going for the annual plan compared to the monthly plan, wherein you would get increased price per month. And don't worry, we have a 20% off discount code that I'll be giving out later on after we have finished discussing the subscriptions right here. So first is that we have the starter plan at $19 per month. For the annual price, you'd get 200 videos minutes per month. And then this is for a single user and includes these features right here: multilingual standard AI voices, unlimited access, and basic AI features. This is best for solo creators, new YouTubers, small businesses just getting into video content, and more. You can use this to build consistency, stick to shorter videos, and focus on quality over quantity. Great entry point if you're testing Pictory's capabilities. And we have professional. So this is perfect for video creators needing professional quality results. So this is priced at $39 per month. And for monthly, it would be $49. That would be a huge increase. And in here, we have a slider depending on the number of video minutes you would need per month with these features in the professional. So in here, you could adjust that accordingly. So let's say 600 is fine. Then from here, you can now get all of this right here in addition to all the features that you have here in Starter. So for the professional plan is best for active creators, freelancers, marketers doing regular content production. This is ideal if you want to post weekly or need to create longer videos. This plan unlocks more branding, advanced editing, and better voiceovers. So take advantage of those upgrades. And in here, we also have the themes. So this one right here includes all pro features and more team collaboration tools, brand kits, and shared templates. And 240 minutes per month of multilingual hyper-realistic AI voices from 11 Labs. And then again, you have the same slider and the number of team members that you'd want. And this is best for agencies, marketing teams, or YouTube channels with multiple contributors. You want to use this if you want to use brand kits to keep visual identity consistent. If you're working with editors or scriptwriters, the collaborative workflow saves time and keeps projects aligned. And as for the enterprise, this is a custom pricing, so it includes unlimited videos, a dedicated account manager, API access, custom control, and video consulting, and many more. So this one is best for large organizations with high output needs, training departments, or custom integrations. Only go here if you're scaling big. If you're managing video at scale like hundreds monthly, this is where automation and support become worth it. So that's it. So if you're just starting out, go with Starter. If you're posting consistently or running a content business, Pro is the sweet spot. And if you're working with other people, go for Teams. If you're scaling really fast and have security needs, Enterprise is for you. Now, let's say that we would want to buy the professional. Now, let's use our coupon code to get a discount. So in here, we have this total right here, total price for the yearly plan for the professional plan. Click here on apply coupon and just simply type out hype 20 and click on apply. And then from here, you'd now be able to see that you would get 20% off your total price right here. So $468 minus 20%, which is $93.60. It will now be just $374, which is a huge discount by using our coupon code and using our link. So that's it. Make sure to use our coupon code and links if you'd want to get a discount, and that would also help us support this channel. So thank you in advance, and that's it for this tutorial on Pictory on everything you need to know. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.